Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of Know Your Numbers. Last week was better than expected. Maybe, just maybe, we can actually turn a decent profit and not, thankfully we've been breaking even. Perhaps this month we'll just squeeze out just enough of a profit. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. I do like to keep these somewhat brief. So I'm going to start a timer behind me here, and it's set for 15 minutes, and we'll go ahead and get into this. First up is the sales spreadsheet. I always begin with this. From this, all numbers, charts, everything is derived from this. In the mornings, I will record all of the sales from overnight. And which platforms that they come from, all of the details regarding the sale, and then transfer these numbers over to Vendoo. Vendoo is not only our cross-listing platform, but the way that we manage our inventory. It also has some analytics that are fun to look at as well, and we'll take a look at those here towards the end of the end of this video. So we are looking at the week of September 10th, and that would be the 10th through the 16th. Let's go ahead and pull my agenda back up. I do just keep notes of what I wanted to cover. I do tend to get sidetracked if I don't have a list in front of me. So looks like we want to look at the weekly sheet. So we'll go back. Go to our weekly, and on the weekly sheet I group the days of the week for the month in in series, if you will. I group those days. So for instance, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that way I can compare what Monday or Sunday was like during week 1, week 2, get it. So I'm looking for, is there a trend? Are some days better than other days? I don't know. These charts, I don't ever really plan them out. They just kind of, as a question comes to mind, I'll plot it out, and then I'll typically hang on to it because, well, I find it interesting. I do like to stack these. So again, all the Sundays. Today being Sunday, we do have a few, 4 orders for the day already. So this one's looking taller, but it looks like if you ignore today, it looks like Friday, the last 5 weeks. Sorry, this isn't coming out too clear. But anyway, it looks like Friday is the best days. You can see that here. It's reflected very well. Let's see what our average for last week. We had 36, and it looks, let me move this. It looks like, fighting with this. Hold on, I'm moving stuff out of my way. Looks like an average of 5 sales per day this week. So again, maybe we're out of the woods. I don't know. You compare that to last week, and I did cover that in a previous video. We sold 27 for the entire week, which averages out to about three sales per day. Not too good. So that one I was a little more gloomy. This one I'm a little more upbeat this week. As I said, we are doing 5. It's not our goal, not our target. Our target, I think, of where we are in our business and what we sell is probably more realistically 8 sales per day until we would need to ramp up some things, and I don't know. We'll look at those. We'll take one step at a time. Right now, our sights are set on 8. We have a bit to go, a little further to go with that. All right, so that's a look at the weekly sheet and how we did this week compared to last week, the days. Let's go ahead and pull up our agenda again, figure out where we go next. Performance. Let's go back to here and performance. Performance is a chart that I will track the months of the current year. So we can see we are in a steady, we're trending down. It's definitely down. Looks like, what was that? April, January, February, March, April. Yes, April being our best month. And then from there, we've just been tracking down. People call it summer slowdown. Yeah, I think people are probably busier. They're just not tied into their phone shopping for stuff. The economy has something to do with it. But I think mainly year after year, you hear this summer slowdown, and I think it is. I think it's a thing. It's a trend. People are just definitely out doing things more. So we are down a little further than I'd like to be. So that's where we're at. So month to date, we have sold, our gross revenue is $1,300. Of that, we spent $213 in cost of goods sold. Our fees, we spent $192 in platform fees, and then promotions. So this would be our ads, and this is mainly on eBay. We've spent $41. Tax, we don't care. We spent $320 in shipping labels. Gives us a profit. The profit is less the cost of goods sold, and obviously less the fees, promotions, and shipping. We have $535 with a profit margin of about 41% there. Our net sales, so that would be including the cost of goods sold, 753. Still like to kind of track that because we don't spend as much on our merchandise as we used to. So we may have spent $8 on a pair of jeans in the past, maybe a year, 2 years ago. These days we'll be spending considerably less, yet that $8 would then go towards towards our net, because we could then turn that into, if you will, a few more jeans, a few more pairs of jeans. Average sale price, $16. It's not where I want to be. I think $18 is where I would like to be. I think that's our target for the type of merchandise that we sell, or the type of product that we have. The average profit per item, we're looking at $6.69. I would like to see $8. That's kind of our target there. We have our an attempt at calculating our return on investment. This would be, we have 80 sales to date, so averaging out to 5 per day for the month. 5 sales per day for the month. Let's go ahead and get back to our agenda. Did our performance. Go to historical. On historical, I like to plot out the years and the months within those years that we've been in business. So we started selling in 2021. It's pretty rough back then. I didn't do a very good job of tracking our numbers, so there's going to be a lot of gaps, a lot of holes here. 2022, we did a better job. Didn't really look at profit margins, so that's a little bit sparse there as well. But our numbers sold are on track, as well as our gross and our net. And then doing a heck of a lot better at tracking our numbers in 2023, or this year. You can see how we're trending. The orange being 2022, last year. You'll see that we are tracking a bit better this year. We do have more time that we are devoting to this. My wife has recently retired from the healthcare industry. That was her career, full-time career or profession, and she has been focusing more on reselling as well as some other streams of revenue. You can see again, here's our April, and we've been kind of trending down, which has been tracking along with last year as well. Here we are. I don't know what happened here. I can't really explain that, but we do expect here in August things to be down. September, this month concerned me because this was showing down. I guess it was lower than what it was last year. So we had 123 sales as compared to 125. We're tracking at 80 right now. So, we'll see how we are. Probably do better than last year. We're hoping, right? Okay. And then this would be the gross sales, so our revenue. And then our net, and again, kind of sparse in here back in 2021. But it'll be interesting as the years go on that we'll have better data to track these trends. Let's go back to our agenda and budget. So the budget is relatively new. I had a question, just on average, what is our, where's our, how do I explain this? What is the breakdown of our sales on average? So here we'll see that 57.6% on average is our net sale. The next biggest portion here would be 24.5%, and that is shipping. We would expect that to be more. On average, we spend through 3.2. Now again, this is across all platforms, so we don't promote or run ads across all platforms. That would strictly be eBay. However, I think it's only fair to spread that out or across all platforms or all sales. So if you take all sales into account, we're only spending 3.2% of each and every sale on advertising. And then we're looking at 14.7% would be platform fees, and again, that's a combination of all platforms. So that's how our sales break down, where our money goes. Again, that was just a question that came to mind, and so then this chart. So, and this is real time. So as we make sales on the sales sheet, this is being pulled from, as you can see, from the formula that we are pulling it from the performance tab, and which cell we are pulling that from. So, and the performance tab is also updated dynamically based on what is entered into the sales. So every month I will have to make a copy of this spreadsheet. I do have to set, reset and set some dates, but from there it plots itself out and keeps track of these numbers. All right, back to it. Oh yes, so Vendu. We'll take a look at our Vendu analytics. Looks like I am going to run over our 15-minute allotment. We're down to 10 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and pause this timer. We are going to run over. Let's bring up Vendu. And so here is Vendu. And Vendu, I have it set for last week, the 10th through the 16th. For Vendu, and again, Vendu is tracking sales across all platforms that we sell on. So we're looking at total revenue last week of $600. Half of that being in profit. 37 items sold last week. So we're up from the previous week. That was a gloomy week. We have increased our, looks like we came up. We only list 5 days a week, taking weekends off. So this is really 11 items or 11 new listings per week, right? Or 11 per day, I should say. There's our average sales price, 16. We can go and look at what marketplace has the most revenue. It shouldn't be any surprise that eBay wins that. $480 out of that. That's 80% of our revenue. Macari being the next. Looks like we got $97 in sales from them. And then Posh was just $26. Profit-wise, see how that breaks down. $245 profit on eBay. That profit is less the cost of goods, so that is our profit. Obviously, we will have taxes and we have business expenses and stuff that are going to come out of the profit. But as far as the sale is concerned, that is the profit what we made from that sale. So just want to be clear on that and not mislead anyone. Not that the numbers are like woohoo, wow, but I want to make sure everyone is clear on what that is. Average sales price. Keep in mind that eBay does include the shipping cost, so the shipping labels. So they will have an average sale or a higher average sale price than the other marketplaces. Those do not include, we never see the money for the shipping label. That is not included in the sales price. So again, that is less the shipping label. The number of sold, eBay, oh my goodness. So there's 27 as compared to 8 on Macari and only 2 on Posh. So a third of our sales were on the other 2 platforms. So I am working more aggressively and pursuing more sales on these platforms. And we can get into some of those things at another time, but our impressions are down. So fewer eyes are being seen. So I am more aggressively pursuing sales on these other platforms, trying to make up for that. And what I mean by that is send offers to likers. As soon as there's a liker, I will send an offer. We've got coupons and sales going on eBay. We don't necessarily do that on Posh and Macari. So as soon as somebody likes it, I will give them at least, equivalent to what we are selling the item for on eBay. And that's the way I'm working that out. Top selling brands. Old Navy. We sold $60 worth of Old Navy. Banana Republic, $36 worth of Banana Republic. And Land's End, Massimo. Surprising, it's Massimo. And then Abercrombie. So that's the way, those are our top selling brands. Again, primarily we are mall brands. You won't see, probably won't see any luxury items in there or brands at all. Tops are still big for us. Women's tops, women's pants, jeans. Sold some men's t-shirts and some dresses. And again, we are primarily a clothing reseller, and the merchandise or the product that we are more easily able to obtain would be in the women's category. Certainly tops are more prevalent or easier for us to source. So that's where we are there, month to date. Let's go ahead and just go month to date. So month to date, we've sold a $1,300 in gross revenue. We profited 627, sold 82 items. We are a little bit up, just slightly. Number of listed, that's interesting. Must be the way the days work out. Who knows? And then average sale price, $16. Again, we're making more money as far as total sales on eBay. It's not a surprise there. $1,000 was on that. We have 149 on Macari and 142 on Poshmark. The way our profit breaks down, the average sale price, again, higher because it includes shipping on eBay, and then these two marketplaces is just the amount we sold the item for, not including shipping. About 60 sales on eBay, and then 20, so a third of the eBay sales were on other marketplaces, I guess, if I can say it like that. So that's how we've done so far for the week, for the month. Those charts I think are interesting. So I think because we're out of time, there's not a lot that comes to mind. Anything extraordinary or unusual as far as sales and buyer interactions, or so don't really have anything to report there. Shameless plugs. Yeah, I have a couple other series that, Tuesdays, I like to go over what the items that we sold. I don't want to bore anybody with all the items that we sold, and just let's hit the highlights. What was the best? What was, the bad, if you will, kind of the middle ground. We didn't lose money. Maybe we just broke even, and we'll call that, bad. And then the ugly, those that we may have lost money on. So I do like to go over those. We'll have a closer look at what those sales were, what were the items, what were the specifics, what were the titles. Maybe some things will jump out as to what we could have done better or what we did right. So anyway, that's what that's all about. Thursdays, I do a series, Are We There Yet? Are We There Yet has gone from where we started, where we're at now, and then we'll look ahead into the future, what things that we're trying now, what things that we're planning to try, and just kind of our strategies in that. So hope that I see you in some of those videos. Until then, my name is Rich, and I appreciate your time and the Sunday afternoon that you spent with me. Thank you very much.